It was a friendly that was in 2009. Chelsea won 2-0. So there is a little bit of something, a little bit of hope for you Chelsea fans, of course. Don't take everything to heart right now about all this big talk about how well Lindstrom's playing. Azpilicueta is good at FIFA as well, and I think he's going to show us that he can more than stand up to the challenge here.
You can see that the game's underway. And Ago, I just wanted to ask you a quick question as we get into this game. When you go into the game as a favourite, like Jesper Lindstrom is in a lot of people's eyes, does that change the dynamic a little bit? Does that put the pressure onto him now?
I think usually I don't mind too much being the favourite when I play a competitive game. But I think in this case, it could affect Lindstrom a little bit. I mean, he had an amazing game yesterday, scored tons of goals, and I believe Azpilicueta will defend a bit better, as you can see he's also starting keeping the ball pretty well, just trying to get the rhythm and the flow into the game. And played is very smart, and I believe that perhaps is going to frustrate Jesper a little bit. So I'm very excited to see this one.
Well, good confidence there, bringing it out with the goalkeeper. But this is the first time we're going to see Lindstrom have the ball in the final third, and we saw yesterday what he could do in that final third with the skill moves that the guys were talking about. And maybe this will be the first chance of the game, and first chance, first goal. The confidence from yesterday has continued on to today, gentlemen.
I wonder whether we're going to see double digits. I'm going to call it now in the 7th minute already. Yesterday we saw an 8-2. Imagine if we were able to see someone grab 10 goals. Azpilicueta is going to have to be very careful defensively because Lindstrom going forward just looks so scary. He's just so confident. You can tell he's played a lot of the game, and you can tell he's got the practice in.
And one thing Cesar got to try to be more active in his defense, not relent too much on the AI, because we know that Jesper is very good at these skill moves and he wants to bait all the time. And you have to manually try to intercept these balls. So not the ideal start for Cesar, but there's a lot of time left.
He's got to remind himself that last time these two teams played, as we mentioned, on the real pitch, it was Chelsea who came out with the win. And maybe it's going to be up to Jesper Lindstrom to have that fire in him to get a little bit of revenge for the Brøndby fans who are watching at home at the moment. But that's well defended there by Azpilicueta. And sometimes you have to say after an early goal, you can sort of lose focus. But it seems like Azpilicueta has managed to find that pretty quickly here, gents.
There's a little bit of something extra as well in this game for Lindstrom. He did say he really wants to play against Liverpool because as a boy growing up, he's always been a big fan of the Liverpool side. And he would get the chance to play them in the semi-finals if he were to get that far. And of course, if Trent Alexander-Arnold were to get that far as well. So I wonder whether that's in the back of his mind, just thinking, yeah, I want to have a run in this competition so I can have a stab at that Liverpool side.
Here's Jesper Lindstrom on the attack again.
With his own player.
And I do wonder if we're going to see, Brandon Richard would mention it yesterday, any goals from these two players today. Less likely for Azpilicueta, of course. He's playing in at right back, I think I noticed here, for this Chelsea lineup. But again, patient build-up here from Lindstrom. Really impressive, Aga.
Definitely. I mean, he taken control of the game after Cesar started to keep the ball, and we're now starting to see like a bit of a domination. But what I also is noticing is that Cesar is defending very patiently, which is very important to not rush and go too much forward with your defenders, because that can give space for Jesper and his skill moves. So actually, I feel like Cesar is doing the right thing right now. It's a bit more tight match, this one, not so much end-to-end stuff. I believe it's more a tactical kind of game so far.
It's going to be Brøndby with that goal advantage as we hit around the half-hour mark here. And it has been a lot tighter game than Dan Gaskin expected. I'm just going to throw you in there, Dan, saying this could be double digits. But it's looking a little bit different now as we do see the ball going forward and maybe a chance for a second, but well defended.
See, it's just in case Azpilicueta can hear me. You see, I just wanted to get that fire in his belly, get him ready and geared up, and just think, nah, I'm not going to lose by X amount of goals. I'm not going to allow this to go to double digits. However, this could be a second. Not quite, but Lindstrom does look very scary going forward. And fun fact, apparently Lindstrom can see the Brøndby Stadium from his bedroom, just out that window. Stadium's right there.
Here comes Azpilicueta forward for Chelsea. Hasn't had a strike on goal that I can remember from this first half so far. But Aga, one thing I've been impressed with, defensively, Azpilicueta, you say he's been very patient, but it looks like he's been doing his research as well, because there's been a few repetitive skill moves that he hasn't bought from Jesper Lindstrom.
That's nice play by Cesar, but there we see the manual goalkeeper movement by Jesper Lindstrom. Something that is pretty rare, and what I didn't really expect to see a lot, but that just shows that he is an Elite 1 player, Jesper Lindstrom, which is his best result in the Foot Champions Weekend League. And yes, as you say, Mark, very impressed with Cesar Azpilicueta's defense so far. I mean, it's very obvious to see that he's playing the defender himself in real life. He's not... Just see this one. I think there's a PK.
Looks like it will be a penalty given here, and then even though he's been defending well, the defenders are taken out of the equation here. It's goalkeeper versus striker. It's Brøndby versus Chelsea, and he makes it too by putting it in the top corner. Jesper Lindstrom, little celebration there. A little bit of daylight now between the two players.
Quite rightly, I think he should celebrate as well, because Azpilicueta was starting to get a little bit more comfortable, and I think that's the scary thing. When you're playing against anyone, it doesn't matter if it's a pro game of FIFA or if against just one of your mates as well. As soon as they start to get confident, they're going to try more skills, they're going to try and get forward, they're going to pressure you a little bit more. But now it is a 2-0 advantage. Azpilicueta is naturally just going to have to push up a little bit more, which is just going to open up the game in general.
And it would be great for Cesar to get a goal before first half is over. Trying some shooting paint here, but a bit too readable for Jesper.
And here comes Chelsea again down this right-hand side, and here is the man himself on the ball, just for a few momentary seconds. We're in the stoppage time here. A goal, like you say, Aga, just before half-time. What's like real life? Just changes the second half completely. Kante almost finds the ball inside, but well defended there. And it looks like at half-time here, gentlemen, it is going to be a 2-0 to the man who impressed us so much yesterday, Jesper Lindstrom from Brøndby.
Just back to the drawing board, I think, for Azpilicueta. Oh my god, I can't even say names at the moment. It's just a tongue tie. Sorry, Cesar. But Lindstrom is just going forward and looking so positive. I think that's all that matters. He just wants to play attacking football. He just wants to score goals. And as long as he does continue scoring goals, he's going to win this game.
And he certainly reminds me of almost a pro FIFA player with the water, the focus, determination to win this match. I mean, it could be one of us playing at the live events, one of the pro players. It's interesting to see. Also the same repertoire with the skill moves. I mean, the shooting feints, the ball rolls, the drag backs. There's a lot of different variations, and he seems super confident with all this attacking gameplay as we see here.
I do like how you said it could be one of us. But then you specified pro players.
I was just about to say.
I was like, oh yeah, thanks. Yeah, me and Mark could do it as well. I get you're right. And then you're like, no, pro players. Sorry. Yeah, just to specify.
Trying to be nice.
Trying to be nice, and then took it away just at the moment that me and Dan were filled of hope. But it's understandable, as I say, levels to this thing. And Jesper Lindstrom is certainly showing the level that he's been operating at over the last couple of days. 2-0 here, 52 minutes into the game as well, when he's looking to make it 3, goes back inside, maybe just overplayed it a little bit too much there.
Lindstrom did say as well that he feels like if you're good at football in real life, you're going to have a natural brain to play FIFA because you know what you want to do on the pitch or what should be done on the virtual pitch. And therefore, we're seeing how that is interacting here. We are seeing some phenomenal real life football players play some incredible FIFA that would beat some of the top players in the game. So it really has shown how you can kind of transfer those skills from real life to the virtual pitch.
Definitely, and it also seems like he took some of the things that are the meta in FIFA 20 and implemented it into his game style. And when you mix like a natural understanding of football and the game, and you put it in together with some of the meta stuff, you are a really good FIFA player.
I'm sure there's a lot of Brøndby fans who are sat at home at the moment who are absolutely loving every second of the Stay and Play Cup with their representative Jesper Lindstrom really put on a show at the moment. It doesn't matter who he's playing against, what club it is. He's scoring goals freely. Azpilicueta's doing everything he can at the moment for the Chelsea contingent to try and get back into the game. But we've talked about how good Jesper Lindstrom's been going forward. But Aga, defensively, he's been superb as well.
Yeah, Jesper definitely surprised me in this game with his defense, because yesterday when we saw him winning with a lot of goals, he seemed to be a bit loose in his defense. He didn't care too much about closing the gaps, and maybe made some weird offside traps as well, which eventually costed him a goal. But this game, he's been solid, very solid.
And Dan, I'm about to ask you, the Chelsea man, he's got it all to do now as we're inside the last half hour of this game. What's got to change?
He's not doing much wrong. It's more that Lindstrom's just doing everything right, and he's just intercepting incredibly well, putting his players in all the right positions. And I'm wondering, I mean, considering that Lindstrom only has a 57 rated item in the game, if he wins this tournament, do you reckon we can convince EA to maybe give him a better one? This almost makes it 3. He's going up against Azpilicueta as well, who has the highest rated item in FIFA. Out of all the players that are competing in the tournament, his 88 rated flashback is one of the best.
Well, how about this for an idea? He gets a special stay and play champion card if they win. The winner of this tournament to get a specially released foot item in game.
That would be nice.
99 rated all statistics.
I'm not sure that would be fair, considering he's obviously competing in Weekend League, weekend out with the gameplay that we've seen. Give him a 99 rated version of himself as well. I'm sure he'd be slapping pros left, right and centre.
I would definitely be worried if I saw that card and I knew it was Jesper Lindstrom I was playing against.
I think I'd just be more nervous if I saw Jesper Lindstrom's name. I don't think he needs any help with the card of that kind of statistics. But into the final 15 minutes or so now in this game. It has been a lot tighter than maybe a lot of people were expecting. The Chelsea man certainly has given a good showing. It just needs to find that one goal. And we know, if you find one goal at this stage in the game, there's still a chance that you can scrape out a draw. And of course, then we go to golden goal.
And the winner of this game will go up against the winner of PSG versus Roma, which is going to be up next today as well. So Bernat or Kluivert, they're going to be competing to try and play the winner of this game. At the moment, it looks like it's going to be Lindstrom. Hasn't been able to dominate as much as I thought he would, though, I think. Cesar has definitely shown defensively he's extremely strong. He's just really struggled to break down Lindstrom's defense to the other side.
Definitely, and now we have around 7-8 virtual minutes left of this match, and Cesar needs to give his best shot now. I mean, if he loses 2-0, 3-0, doesn't really matter, but if he can go up and maybe get a goal before it's too late, he perhaps have a chance to actually make the perfect comeback, even though Jesper Lindstrom, his defense this match has been incredible.
And another thing to note here, going into the pause menu and still making those substitutions to get fresh legs on, that's the sign of a lot of FIFA under the belt.
Oh, almost made it 3 as well. I think he might have even substituted himself there. And that's something that you've always got to take into the equation. If you're in a video game, like, are you going to use yourself? Are you going to take yourself off? My dad, when he was managing me as a football manager, he used to always put me on the bench. I thought that was dreadful as a father. Why would he never play me? I can imagine it's even worse if you're having to play yourself.
And that's a question maybe you have to answer yourself, Dan.
Yeah, well, maybe I just wasn't that good in the under-9s league.
And he has to hurry up now, Cesar, if he wants something.
And there was that ball into the box. Maybe that was the chance that had to be converted here for Cesar Azpilicueta to get back into this game. But this has been a different showing of Jesper Lindstrom in this game. He's been pressured a lot more. He's had to defend, but maybe here he can look to make it 3. Goes for the strike across goal, but the goalkeeper does get a touch on it to turn it behind. Just stoppage time now. Gentlemen, it looks like this one could be done.
Yeah, and it's I guess it's quite apt that Bromby performing so well. Bromby have a lot of history in FIFA esports in general as well. E-Club World Cup winners back in the day. 2-time E-Club World Cup winners in fact. So there is the victory for Lindstrom again. A solid performance. Did sub himself off at the end of the game, which still confuses me. I would keep myself on that pitch for 90 minutes every single game. But he played an amazing, amazing game there. And Cesar, unfortunately, just couldn't match him.
Yeah, I think the thing that impressed me most is like the seriousness in it as well. You know, no real celebration at the end of the game there. Business as usual, Aga. That's got to be a good sign for him moving forward, right?
Definitely. I think he must be considered as the favorite for now. I mean, we haven't seen all the players in the competition yet, but the seriousness and his desire to win is just crystal clear. So, I mean, like, for me, he is the favorite.
Well, fortunately for Chelsea fans, that will mean that you are out of the Stay and Play Cup. But the Bromby train keeps on rolling. We're going to send it back to Jimmy and the guys now to break it all down.
Thank you, Mark and Dan. Wow. What a performance. Spencer, Mike, Aga, thank you for joining us again. You got to watch that one. But Spencer, let's talk a little bit about what you just saw.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think most people were predicting a win for Jesper. I feel a little bit sorry for Cesar because I think if he'd been on a different side of the draw, he actually showed some things in that game which I'd have liked to see him play a few more times and see how far he could have gone. But yeah, Jesper has to continue to be the main man for this tournament in terms of favourite. One thing I noticed this game more than last game was his longer touch you take, deliberately kick the ball quite far in front of him. It's a trick that he's using even more than I see in the pro scene, and it's working for him so far, that kicking the ball quite far ahead and running onto it.
Well, we have the winner with us right now. Jesper Lindstrom is joining us. Jesper, these other players that you're playing against, they have families, and you're just taking them down. Where's the respect?
Nah, this game I was playing a little bit slow because Azpilicueta was staying slow, staying down. So it was a bit difficult for me to like get the skills in with the players. So I was just like keeping the ball, getting the opportunities, and yeah, just waiting defensively.
When Jesper, when Cesar had that chance, he didn't have a lot of chances, but there was one in the first half just before you went 2-0 up. And I noticed a little bit of keeper movement from you to anticipate the shot. Is that something you use quite a lot? Because it's something that separates the better players from the not so good ones.
Yeah, but it's of course also a bit risky. In FIFA 19, it was like more easier because the goalkeeper like moved so fast. But in the like FIFA 20, he's so slow, so it's just like if the player is looking, that's just a goal. But yeah, I was like thinking, just take the risk because if you shoot from there, normally it will go in. So yeah, it's like 50-50 if you take like long corner or short corner. So yeah.
And the commentators as well as the chat saw that you subbed yourself out. Everybody wants to know why.
Yeah, but normally I would play with myself, of course, but this is a tournament, and I want to win, of course. So if my player's tired, I want to bring something new in, and I also want to like use some of the young guys from Bromby because yeah, they show themselves, huh? It's good. So yeah.
And yeah, I have one question as well, Jesper. I mean, I'm very familiar with the Danish FIFA scene, and I must ask, how much have you practiced with the Bromby esports guys?
I haven't actually practiced with them, but I played a lot with them, like for fun. So I haven't actually stayed with them and played and did everything, like anything. But yeah, I watched when they stream on Twitch how they play and stuff. So I just use that in my games, like the skills and stuff.
All right, Jesper, thank you so much for your time. Congratulations on getting to the quarterfinals, and we look forward to seeing how you play then. We expect good things, of course.
Thank you so much.
All right, Jesper Lindstrom, everybody. So 2 games he's played, he's scored 10 and only given up 2. Let's take a look at these highlights to see what he did today against Chelsea's captain, Cesar Azpilicueta. Mike, talk us through these a little bit.
Well, first off, he had to adjust to Cesar. We didn't see this high-octane offense. It was a much more defensive game, a lot more patience, still using the skill moves, opening up angles, just a beautiful setup there. To have that in your locker, the multiple skills and the patience, and it also allows Jesper to get off to this good start and to be confident going forward. The longer this game would have stayed 0-0 or very, very close, I think it would have allowed Cesar to maybe just start to work his way back into it.
That is a tidy penalty, by the way. Very nice finish that ended up being the final score, 2-0 in favor of the Broadby midfielder. He's advancing to the quarterfinals, our first quarterfinalist of the Stay and Play Cup, Jesper Lindstrom. Congratulations to him. Fantastic performance again. Is he still the favorite for you guys? Spencer, what do you think?
Yeah, I think, again, he's the only person we've seen play twice now, and there's still a lot of people we haven't seen play at all, but based on the information we have, he's a level above, I'd suggest. I really think that he made both his players he's played against look nowhere near the level they actually are. I genuinely think both his Marseille opponent in the first round and Cesar could have gone further into this tournament if they'd had different draws. Whoever comes up against this Jesper, because there's two Jespers, could struggle.
After this matchup, sorry, go ahead, August.
Yeah, I definitely agree with Spencer. I mean, and what I noticed about Jesper is that he almost acts and behaves like a professional FIFA player. I mean, he's sitting with the water. He's super serious. He's super focused, and he's pretty calm. He doesn't really celebrate that much today. So for me, he's definitely the favorite for now.
And I would even say after this matchup, he's even more so the favorite, not because he got a win, but because he was able to showcase two different types of play styles, where it was very fast, attacking, back and forth in the first game, where he had the 8-2 win, and then it was this 2-0. He had a clean sheet. He looked solid with his back line. He was patient. It tells you that he can adjust to different types of oppositions.
Well, I'll be honest, everyone. I'm pretty excited that the excitement from day one is carrying over to day two. That pumps me up. As does our next matchup, PSG versus Roma. That's right, Juan Bernat from PSG. He's going to be taking on Justin Kluivert and AS Roma. This is a battle of two very, very big clubs. Should be very exciting to see which one can step up and do what Jesper just did. Come back and join us.